Hello, welcome to my channel. I had just did this video, but I decided to redo it and delete the other one. We're looking at Johnnie Mae Miles, and it says she went missing June 6, 2001 from Magna, Utah. Okay, she was 68 years old, 5'8" to 5'9", and she suffers from memory loss. And she had a vehicle which was accounted for. She was last seen at her home. She went to the store and it says she got lost, and her vehicle was later found crashed into willow trees near a creek on Cherry Creek Road, a dirt road about 20 miles from Eureka, and I don't know how to pronounce that, if it's Juab County. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing it, or Juab County. Anyway, in Utah, it was apparent she'd gotten stuck there and had tried without success to get the vehicle out. A man herding cattle reported seeing someone matching her description walking down Cherry Creek Road carrying a purse and brown paper bag in the early morning hours. She turned off the road and headed towards Chicken Rock. And herding cattle, does that mean he's herding cows or herding sheep? This is why I'm doing this again, okay? Miles has never been seen or heard from again. They never found a body. They never found anything. And the reason that this reminded me of this one. Mary Katherine Miller went missing 1979. So I don't know if it would be the same person herding cattle or if it would just have been a local farmer herding cattle. But remember Mary Katherine Miller, 1979, Provo, Utah. She had dinner with her daughter at the ice cream shop. She just found out her ex-husband died the previous year. This is according to the Charlie Project. And I'm just reading it. I didn't give them the details. I don't know what's true, what's not true. But I'm still reading it. So she found out her ex-husband had died. She was upset. No one had told her. She wanted to go visit his grave in American Fork City Cemetery. And I see a lot of people going missing lately when I look for Utah that might have been headed towards American Fork. And that really bothers me too, because these are recent ones that I'm looking at, and I'm all the way in 2001 that were headed towards American Fork, and they're missing. Okay, she's never been heard from again. She was reported missing on July 5th. Nearly 3 weeks after her disappearance, her car was found hidden near a sheep herder's camp on the backside of Mount Timpanogos. Forgive me if I'm not pronouncing that right. Beyond the Timpanogos campground, and like I said, forgive me if I'm not pronouncing it right. But one of the sheep herders told his boss the car belonged to a woman who got it stuck on a rough, rocky road. And look at this. She's missing, and her car's stuck. She got her car stuck. That's what he said, right? No. Okay, so now the whole story's full of holes, right? Okay, so he stated the woman had lent him the car, and he planned to drive to the Navajo reservation in the Four Corners area. She's never been seen or heard from again. And this is from Mary Katherine Miller in 1979. Now, when investigators questioned this man years later, he told them that the woman had been wearing a red robe when she walked away from the car. So he remembered what she was wearing, and you notice things like that. However, her robe was found in the vehicle's back seat. Now, her purse, her keys, and her wallet were also in the vehicle. And I'm sure they mentioned that to him. So this time he noticed her carrying her purse in a bag. And I don't know if it's the same person, but the sheep herder is considered a person of interest in her case. When he took a polygraph, the results were inconclusive. Okay, her case is unsolved, and nobody's ever found her remains. Okay, so he's a sheep herder, right? And a lot of times when you're herding cattle, I'm told that, like, if you're herding cattle, a lot of times you herd the sheep with the cattle. So you could be herding sheep, you could be herding cows, you could be herding them all together and moving them. So now we have this other lady in Magna, Utah. She's missing. Her car gets stuck. The last person who saw her was somebody that was herding cattle. And like I said, it could be a local farmer herding cattle. It may not be the same person herding cattle. But I have noticed that the mention of people that have been missing lately that were possibly headed towards American Fork. And a lot of times it just says that casual, like they may have been. And now here she's got the vehicle. Also, the vehicle stuck. The vehicle got stuck. She couldn't get it out. That's what they're saying, right? And when that Mary Katherine Miller went missing, it said the vehicle had gotten stuck. And this one said she had lent him the car and he was planning on taking it somewhere. Not this one. Mary Katherine Miller. The man said she had lent him her car, right? And he said that he remembered what she was wearing. So she's never been seen or heard from again. So we know something happened to her. And now this one, the car's stuck. And whoever saw her remembered the details enough to notice that she was carrying a purse in a brown paper bag. So, like I said, I don't know if it's a sheep herder or not, if it would be the same person, or if it's just a coincidence. It could just be a coincidence. She could have actually gotten the car stuck and walked away. But I saw the person was herding the cattle, and that was the last person to see her, and I thought, wow, remember that? And the American Fork, thing. That bothered me too. So I thought, well, I might want to do that video again, because even though I couldn't find anybody to match her description, there is that. And I wanted to make sure that I brought that up. Okay, so then we're going to look at the newspaper ads. The search continued Monday for 68-year-old woman missing since Wednesday. And it mentions, you can pause this and read it. I'm just skimming through it. It says that she crashed into a stream and willow trees in the West Desert. The accident was on Cherry Creek Road, about 20 miles west of Eureka. It's possible Miles was picked up by another motorist and dropped off at an unknown location, according to the statement released by the sheriff's office. Miles suffers from memory loss and may be disoriented, according to the police statement. She may not know how to get home. She was last seen wearing a white shirt and tan pants, 5 foot 8 inches tall and 135 pounds. Anyone with any information needs to contact the sheriff's department. So if you have any information at all, please contact the sheriff's department. Even if you gave them the information years ago, please contact them and give them that information. And here is the Times News. For more than 2 weeks, a missing Magna woman has been the subject of an intensive search and rescue. They had no success. They began with an intensive 3-day effort. And it talks about she's been missing since June 6th. She left to go to the store. They found her car in that other county. 25 members of the sheriff's office and search and rescue team and 20 other volunteers. They were using like ATVs and horses and things like that to go looking for her. They found her car near Little Saharan sand dunes, and they still had not located her. So, and they had received a suicide in a vehicle, and they thought that might have been her, but then they found out it was a young male, and it was not connected to her in any way, shape, or form. It says her car had slid off into the stream. There were no occupants. They couldn't find her. And she's described as an African American, 5 foot 8 inches tall, and weighing about 135 pounds. She was wearing a white shirt and tan-colored pants. He said searchers were hoping the woman had been picked up by a driver when she was walking. And then it says she was last seen about 1 1/8 miles from the accident scene walking along the road. A cow herder reported seeing her about 6:30 a.m. The incident site, he was approximately 15 miles northeast of Little Sahara Sand Dunes and 20 miles of Eureka. We have covered 8 to 10 miles in all direction of the accident scene, Carter said. The search had used 4-wheel recreation vehicles, 4-wheel drive vehicles, searchers on horseback and on foot. So if you have any information about what might have happened to Johnnie Mae Miles, please contact authorities and give them that information. And so I just thought that was, interesting. So, and I hope they find her or find out what happened to her. Hopefully, it's been a lot of years, though. So anyway, don't forget to pray for her family and her loved ones. Please feel free to leave comments and have a blessed day. Bye-bye.